guys, follow me on Instagram to never ever miss any of my crazy updates. Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I'm riding this. This is the Ducati Diavel 1260. Key is very much like an Audi because Audi obviously owns Ducati. Keyless entry of course, and the bike looks really very nice. Now this is a power cruiser. Iski light pata nahi kyun band ho gayi, but the thing is, if I have the key in my pocket, all I have to do is come here, press this lock button, and there it unlocks the motorcycle. Obviously I don't need to remove any key or put it anywhere, and there you can see the light. Well, that is the DRL. It gets all LED lights, and the indicator placement is really very cool and nice on this motorcycle. Of course it is an obnoxious design. Firstly, the forks are really fat, 48mm upside down forks, and you can see them like they're right in your face. Brembo brakes on this motorcycle, top spec brakes, 320mm discs at the front, dual, two of them of course, and you get all-in suspension which is fully adjustable both at the front as well as the rear. It says Diavel 1260S, red color trellis frame which is exposed, and this is obviously the crash card of this motorcycle. Now that is the engine, and the pegs are center set from the side. This bike looks absolutely crazy. Just look at it. It's like super fast, has a long wheelbase, but you know, it doesn't scrape the underbelly anywhere. That is the level of ground clearance on offer, which is very nice. Says Ducati here. You can see the exhaust treatment is also pretty damn awesome, but what is the real highlight is the rear wheel on this bike. 240 section, 240, 45, 17. Now because it has a single sided swing arm, you can see the exposed rim on this motorcycle, and I know the sidewall is small, so you have to be careful. However, it looks beautiful. What a work of art. This is twice the size as the front wheel. The front wheel happens to be a 120, 70, 17, so yeah, double the size. It says Ducati safety pack right there, and these are vents, okay, for better breathing. I don't know for what. Okay, it actually passes air through there of course, and the mirrors on this bike are actually very functional. Yeah, one of the few bikes where actually the mirrors are useful and not useless as such. Now this has a floating treatment at the rear because you can see how the seat kind of floats, and there of course is the brake light. Indicators are placed here, a nice tire hugger or whatever you want to call it for the number plate of course, and this is the grab rail of the bike. Now the seats are really very wide, get the red stitching and extremely comfortable. It says Diavel right there, so a lot of attention to detail. It gets a monoshock suspension. Now the thing is, at the front we get 120mm the suspension travel, at the rear we get 130mm suspension travel, and the peg placement is also nice, but it's center set obviously like I told you. There you can see beautiful looking engine. This motorcycle is a work of art, I kid you not. It looks absolutely fantastic no matter what angle you look at it. It's like it's already fast, and the tank is like really long. I think it's a 17-liter tank. It says Ducati right here. Now there is so much to explore in this instrument cluster. First and foremost, let me press this button, and there it says Ducati right there. Now this is a very chintu mintu cluster. It's just a 3.5-inch unit, but it's a TFT unit and gives in a lot of information. So this is the tachometer. It says side stand is on at the moment. This is the mode we are in right now, touring mode of course. It tells you the fuel economy, which is 13.4 kilometers per liter, gear position indicator and fuel meter, and the telltale lights are placed everywhere here. So let's do one thing. Let's actually turn on the motorcycle, which means pressing this button here. Yeah, actually the motorcycle is in first, so yeah, we're going to get into neutral, and there it is. It slots into neutral properly and turn on the bike. There it rose to life with a proper growl. Okay, now this is the button to browse through this cluster, which means that you can decide which mode you want to be in, and obviously depending on the mode it changes a lot of things, like what is the engine power, what is the Ducati traction control, what is the cornering ABS, what is the Ducati wheelie control, as well as the Ducati quick shifter. So you can browse through the menu very nicely, but it's such a chintu screen now, so that's not really very impressive. We just do one thing. We're just going to select sport mode for a moment and then come out. It says sport right there, chintu mintu screen. Beautiful master cylinder here of course, and switch gear is beautiful. It says Ducati here on the grab handle of course, however rather on the handlebar, and here is obviously the engine key switch. Just to turn on the motorcycle, this is the lock and unlock. In fact, you can turn on the bike by pressing this button right there. This is for the cruise control, this is for the getting into the menu button, this is for the indicator of course, and there is the hazard light button right here. This is for high beam, this is for pass by. Actually this is for the light, and this is for pass by as well, which is very easy to use as well. And this is for the horn. The horn really very loud, but the bike is louder than the horn, so obviously if you want to make a quick overtake, just rev the motor and you're gone in not even 60 seconds, in 3 seconds probably. There's a button here which says DPL, which is Ducati Power Launch, which is kind of self-explanatory. I'll talk about all this when riding this motorcycle, and you can hear the bike and you can see the lights. I mean, this looks fantastic. I'm sure it rides even better than it looks, because yeah, it has a lot of power. We've done another quick roundabout of this motorcycle. I don't even know if that's the right word. Let's rev it. Alright, let's do one thing. Let's start riding right away. Alright, we are all set to turn on the motorcycle, which means keeping this button pressed, and there it actually turns on. Yeah, here it is, and it says Ducati right there. Motorcycle is not yet on, it's on ignition, so we are going to turn it on now and absolutely rose to life. Now when I enter this menu button now, okay, there is so much more inside this menu button. It's absolutely crazy. So you can see riding mode, info mode, lap, DRL control, tire calibration, backlight, date set, clock set, info service, unit settings, turn indicators, Bluetooth. Yeah, it has got Bluetooth. So much information, but unfortunately this is so chintu mintu. Now the screen is like really chintu mintu, so we're going to exit it at a moment, and it's already in sport mode. We get into first gear and off we go straight away. First and foremost, let me tell you, the bike feels very uncomfortable and very uneasy at lower RPM range, because it just kind of what do I say, splutters there, and then the handlebar is also a handful at lower speed. But get on the throttle and that is the beauty of this motorcycle. Once you get to pace, or once you start riding it at speed now, it just becomes so much smoother and so much better as well. Okay, the brakes are really very strong and sure-footed, but this is a bike you have to actually downshift. You can't pick it up in a lower gear, because below 2000 RPM now, it just feels uneasy, and there's a lot of vibrations which can be felt almost everywhere. Now this is a L-twin motor. Why L? Basically it's a V-twin, but Ducati just pushes the cylinder a little ahead, which makes one of the cylinders parallel with the ground, and then it kind of looks like an L rather than a V. The advantage, well, I don't know, I don't care. Maybe better heat dissipation, but still this motorcycle heats up a lot, and it's a handful to ride because the handlebar has a mind of its own, and I'm sitting close to the tank so that I can actually move, and I have kanun jaise lambe haath, and still I face a problem while riding this motorcycle. You can imagine shorties would face such an issue, although the seat height is just 780 mm, which makes it kind of okay for taller riders as well. And then getting to neutral is also a tough task, because the gearbox is not the smoothest shifting, and it's kind of really difficult to also make the shifts. But the clutch is also heavy, which is kind of expected, and obviously it's got a quick shifter, it's got slipper clutch, it's got all those things, and the quick shifter is both for upshift as well as for downshift. Now the engine is actually a 1262cc unit. It's an L-twin motor. Now this is the BS4 bike which I'm riding right now, which has 3 horsepower less. So when Ducati launched the BS6 version, they actually increased the horsepower by 3. People actually reduce horsepower when they upgrade the emission norms, but Ducati increases the horsepower. Whoa, Ducati, that's amazing. So 159 horsepower for this bike, 162 horsepower for the BS6 model, which actually produces at 9500 RPM. The torque output is 129 Newton meters, which comes in at 7500 RPM. Well, what is the result? I will tell you in a bit, because it's an obnoxious performance pulled from this bike which can absolutely scare the fluff out of you. We're going to stop here, and I'm going to get into DPL, which is Ducati Power Launch. You can say it's a launch control mode. So here it is. I press this button. It says DPL on level 1, level 2 and level 3. Available launches 3. Yes, basically it's not really launch control, it's more like a launch assist, and for 20 minutes these will be available. After that it will reset again so that you don't burn the clutch. Okay, I again got out of that. So here I'm just going to click DPL on level 1, and I activate this. It says pull the clutch, engage first gear, open full throttle. Yeah, gradually release the clutch and start, and off we go. Holy moly cow, what the fluff. First gear 109 kilometers per hour, second gear, oh no, freaking, this is absolutely mind-boggling acceleration. Okay, the low end kind of sucks, but the mid-range is absolutely stupendous in the way it pulls, and it pulls so strongly it scares the fluff out of you. So not really launch control, but launch assist also works beautifully well. You have to gradually release the clutch. If you do it very fast, well, obviously anti-wheelie control, Ducati wheelie control and all that will come into play to cut power and keep you safe, but that's how it works, and it works beautifully well. Around the sweepers there's so much freaking grip. In fact, for a motorcycle which is a power cruiser, there's just crazy amount of traction and grip available as well. The steering is nice, but at low speed it's a handful. At higher speeds, thankfully, it works beautifully well. And this is a motorcycle which goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 2.9 seconds, which is as fast as a Ferrari SF90 Stradale. Absolutely bonkers quick. And 0 to 160 kilometers per hour in 5.5 seconds. 0 to 200 kilometers per hour in 9 seconds, which actually makes it faster than the Ferrari Portofino as well as the Ferrari Roma, making it a very blisteringly quick motorcycle. And this is just a power cruiser. This is not a sports bike. You can imagine the level of thrust on offer. Yeah, it's kind of a handful in city traffic, especially because it heats and then it's very heavy. But then the weight is 247 kgs. Not really bad. Suspension travel ample, 120 at the front, 130 at the rear. But you find it a tough task on bad roads, specifically speaking, because the ride quality is not the best. The suspension is very stiff. You can manually adjust the fronts as well as the rears. All ins, of course. Let's get into Ducati Power Launch. Alright, it says available 2 of them, so we are just going to activate it. We can activate level 2 now. So here we are. First gear, revving the motor, and off we go. Launch, pull the clutch, and off we go. Madness, absolute crazy. Woo! also wind blast, absolutely crazy amount of it, because there is no wind protection, but this bike really pulls like strongly. This is a mad machine, absolutely bonkers performance. And then Ducati, like, you know what, this is a bike you can cruise for longer distances. That's the reason why it has a touring mode as well. So there are 3 riding modes. We are in sport mode, which is the most bonkers with all the performance and really quick acceleration, which puts you like pushes you back into the seat. Thankfully the seat quality is so good now, you don't fall off. But then there is a touring mode which also has the same 160 horsepower, but then I think performance is more gradual. ABS mode is more intervening, so is the traction control mode, and same as the Ducati wheelie control too. But there is also an urban mode which cuts power to 100 horsepower, which makes it more accessible. And obviously depending on the mode you're riding in, a lot of parameters, right? Rather the electronics change, because it has got cornering ABS, it's got traction control, power modes, riding modes, you name it. It's like full of like electronics. And then ABS can become more intervening in lower modes. And then not to forget, it's also got traction control, wheelie control and whatnot. But hey, get into the gas and the throttle response is immediate. It sounds really nice, has a nice growl to it, and it's almost always ready to push you back and make you fly. This is like flying low. Top speed 270 kilometers per hour, but the on-off throttle transition is not the smoothest, because it has this jerk which you can feel. Like I leave and get on the throttle, I can feel the movement up and down, but hey, full throttle is the best way to go on this motorcycle, which is what a machine. Absolutely phenomenal in the way it sounds, rides, and the level of grip on offer is also nice. Only thing is riding position is so awkward for me. Firstly, seat height is very nice, 780 mm, which is like appeals to almost everybody out there, but not really to me, because in spite of the low seat height, and obviously I can put my foot down and all, not a problem, the handlebar is so far ahead. It's like in that Brezza right now, so I have to really stretch. And you can see these are also backlit, which is also kind of cool, because backlit switch is very tastefully done on this motorcycle. Into first gear, we turn on Ducati power launch. Obviously we go level 3 this time. This is the last one which is available right now. Pull the clutch, engage first gear, open full throttle, and let's go. Launch waiting, gradually release the clutch in. Oh my goodness, the front end wants to lift. That is the kind of what mad acceleration. I ride quite a few super bikes, but this Ducati has a different character altogether. The weight performs, the weight pulls, the way the throttle is, oh my god, absolutely stunning. Handling is also quite nice. Okay, it's not very nimble and agile as such, but it still loves the corners, sweepers and all. It takes it beautifully in its stride. Ride is good, but you have to be really careful. Super low profile tires at the rear, like super duper low profile tire at the rear, so you can have that chance of actually cutting the rim or the wheels and whatnot. So just be careful there. But okay, fuel efficiency should return somewhere between 8 to 15 kilometers per liter depending on your riding style. But who knows, who cares? What you care about is, oh my god, this is not a cruiser bike. This is a power cruiser in the real sense of the word. It just doesn't let you ride sanely. It's like now it's time to just blast ahead and fly away. Okay, that power launch, I've exhausted all 3, but in 20 minutes that will reset, so that you don't burn the clutch as such. I don't need the power launch because I feel so powerful without the launch as well. Oh my god, what a motorcycle. And I love the way this is so backlit here. That backlit can be seen in the day, in the bright sunlight, that can be seen. That's how well it has been done. Wow, Ducati, you have really impressed me. So we're going to do one thing. We are going to turn on cruise control. Here I have turned on cruise control. I'm going to set the speed at say 70 kilometers per hour, and then okay, throttle not needed, easily cruising along. And that's why they say this is a cruiser motorcycle. It can actually keep going without any stress whatsoever. Like, yeah, whoa, that is an absolute beauty. The way the motorcycle is so balanced. It can obviously balance itself because of the massive wheels. The tires are so big on this bike, especially the rear tires are obnoxiously big. How easy is that? I would not recommend you leave your hands while riding a motorcycle ever. This was just for demonstration purpose. I would never ever do it myself. Both hands on the handlebar all the time. Love the cruise control, works fantastically well as well. All the systems work so nice, which brings me to the price of this motorcycle. You can get it in 2 variants. Well, oh, I am tired, I need a break. Sounds like nothing else you have heard at idle, and off we go. Oh my god. Now I know why the power launch absolutely so useful on this motorcycle. Redline should almost 10,000 RPM. You leave the throttle and it's kind of feeling uneasy there. 108 in first, and oh my lord, the performance is absolutely bonkers to say the least. So I was telling you there are 2 variants on offer. The lower variant, the non-S variant, the regular variant, the standard variant, whatever you want to call it, that is actually priced at 21.3 lakhs. The one which I'm riding right now is priced at 24.73 lakhs, 3.6 lakhs more for that, wherein you get a lot more kit, a lot more goodies and obviously those goodies are fantastic because it improves the overall riding experience of this motorcycle. Get the full thing. Now with the facelift, or rather with the BS6 motion, the price of the S actually increased by 1 lakh more. That's quite a bit of a price increase. I think the standard variant costs still the same, and the warranty is actually unlimited kilometers for 2 years, and then you have to actually service the motorcycle every 15,000 kilometers or 1 year, whichever is earlier. Filtering through traffic, not a problem, but if you're in the wrong gear now, you can hear it's very uneasy there, and off we go. I love this Ducati Diavel. I think it's absolutely phenomenal. What a bike, what a machine. This is a Power Cruiser Pro Max. Obviously it competes with the Triumph Rocket, which is no less than a rocket, but this is also no lesser than a rocket. Every time you open the throttle, the pull is absolutely insane. It's so seductive. It's so, I don't know what to say, but all I can say is, what a machine. I love it. Yeah, some vibrations here and there, sort of tractor noise at certain revs. I'm sorry about that, but hey, that is the character of this Ducati Diavel 1260. If you like this vlog, make sure to give the thumbs up. That's a like button. Oh, and also subscribe to the channel. I need a shot of Red Bull right now after riding this bike. It's not easy, trust me, it's not easy, especially if the handlebar is OMG. It is just so difficult to operate this motorcycle. I mean, I could do with a lot more workout, so I could actually ride this bike. You don't feel the weight at speed, but then you definitely feel the weight at lower speeds. And then the problem is that the gear shifts are not the smoothest, the power delivery is just too frantic, low end is not that great, so it's not perfect in that sense, but hey, that is the character of this Ducati. Want to take a turn? No problem, here we go. Filtering through traffic, not a problem. Just be sure over the throttle, otherwise you will be ahead of that car over it in no time at all. And on that bombshell, it's time to end. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you like this vlog, I don't have to tell you anything. I know you liked it, you loved it. Bye bye.